MODA is currently preparing for its annual spring runway show, this year titled House of MODA. The fashion organization started out as a magazine in 2003, but has since been expanded to an events program, design boot camp, and daily blog. Today, the magazine works closely with MODA's board members to prepare for the show.
But our main issue every year is launched at the show, so we really work with all the different areas of MODA to put out a great product every quarter.
And we also like to tie in the theme of the magazine that comes out at the show with the theme of the show itself.
The annual fashion show is MODA's signature event and one of the largest off-campus events at the university. It has taken place at Union Station since 2012 and draws a crowd of roughly 1,200 people, aside from the roughly 200 students that are involved in the event. The 2012 show was actually conceived as a last-minute idea that MODA had in February, and it took only a month for members to create a full-blown runway show for the student body and local community. Co-presidents of MODA and fourth years Morgan Richer-Flesch and Austin Ward talked to us about the growth of the show.
Our growth is not only due to the hard work of the board and everyone affiliated with MODA, but also I think speaks to a demographic shift on campus in what students are interested in. And I think it speaks to a different kind of UChicago student, someone who's not only interested in the life of the mind, but how the life of the mind applies to fashion, the style industry, etc.
So we're always looking for new ways to make the show interesting, even though we've really embraced Union Station as like the venue for the MODA Spring Fashion Show. But thankfully, since it's such a raw space, there's a lot that you can do with it. And so we have a great events team who've been working really hard to come up with a completely different decoration scheme that we think is going to provide our guests with a very unique experience this year.
One of the essential components of the fashion show is the Designer Boot Camp, which is currently led by fourth year Harrison Yu.
So the Designer Boot Camp program is a unique program that we've established. I think we're in our 7th year now. And what we do is we take students with no fashion experience whatsoever, and we train them from the ground up in a 33-week program to produce a collection of 3 pieces for the show. And actually that was how I got started as well. I started out in the Designer Boot Camp program.
The preparation process starts from day 1 of the school year and includes working with student and local designers, communicating with sponsors, and scheduling model practices. With a strong presence on campus, MODA aims to create a magazine and fashion show that is as professional as possible, and that includes addressing the issues of body image.
We've taken some active steps to sort of help make our organization more representative of the student body. In the past, our model calls used to take measurements of models. We scrapped that. But it's constantly a work in progress, because what you're basically doing is you're taking students who've had 18 years of exposure to irrational, unfair beauty standards and then expecting, let's say, a student organization to undo those. Can be complicated. Of course, we are definitely trying.
There are many ways for students to get involved with the Spring Fashion Show, as well as MODA in general.
I actually started my first year as a blogger, and I was writing a lot of fitness posts, which was kind of alternative, I guess, with MODA. The marketing director position opened up, and I thought that it was a really cool thing to do, and I thought MODA's social media was a really interesting way to connect with it, because it opened the door for so many different people on campus to get involved with MODA, and so that really attracted me to joining the board.
For me, so I went to the show last year, but I wasn't involved in MODA, and so when I went to the show last year, I was very impressed with everything, and being involved with MODA from the other end of things, it makes me appreciate it even more, just seeing how much work goes into it.
I basically started stalking MODA at the RSO fair. I visited their booth and I saw the magazine, and I was super impressed with it. And then they had an information session, so I went to that. And initially I just wanted to be a writer for the magazine, and then after I met Morgan and Austin, I thought they were super cool and super nice, and they told me that I should try to apply for the board.
When I filled out my application, I had no idea where things were going to head or anything, but I would say if you feel like applying to the board, go for it. If you want to write for the blog, do that as well. Apply to model for the magazine, or just come to our events and read the magazine.
With VIP tickets for this year's show already sold out, we expect another fun-filled night on March 6th at Union Station.